Narayan. Jai Shri Narayan. Jai Shri Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharya Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. We are on day 7 of our celebrations on the month of the Ramanujans, which include our entire Sampradaya, but more specifically our Adi Guru of Kaliyug, Lord Sri Ramanuj, and my Guru, the foremost spiritual master of this century. We once again go into history of Lord Ramanuj to show that when he re-established Sanatana Dharma, he did it meticulously. He took the hardest route, he took the longest route, and he took the scripturally evidential route. There is nothing that Lord Sri Ramanuj has established that is not confirmed by Shruti. And every writing of every spiritual master, sage or saint must be corroborated by Shruti. And Shruti is before Vedas, or by the Bhagavad Gita, or by the Brahma Sutra. So you just cannot sit and write a book and claim to be a Sanatana Dharmi if that book is not referenced throughout. So Lord Sri Ramanuj 1,000 years ago underwent intense training for this monumentous work he had. At that point in time, Sanatana Dharma was clouded by false philosophies as it is today. So when we say false philosophies and clouded by false philosophies, then it is not other religion that is taking away Sanatana Dharma. It is those that purport themselves to be Sanatana Dharmis that postulate false philosophies, and that is what negates the potency of Sanatana Dharma, not other religions. Because all religions have to take their birth from the womb of Sanatana Dharma. There is not a religion in this universe that has not taken its birth from Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is the cosmic womb, the cosmic law, and the cosmic constitution. And everything in this universe is only Sanatana Dharma, but under another name and under another teaching. So we need to be clear when we say Sanatana Dharma is lost, we don't look at the various religions that's existing today. They have nothing to shade Sanatana Dharma with. They are part and parcel of Sanatana Dharma, but in a sectarian dimension. Sanatana Dharma is not sectarian, and it is not a religion. It is the manual for everything that exists in this universe. It's the library for everything that exists in this universe, and it is the personification of the universe through various stages of incarnations by the Supreme Lord. So when we say iti asa and when we say history, there's a difference between the Puranas and the Itihasas. So Itihasas are the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. It is important to note that in the Ramayana and in the Mahabharata, the Supreme Lord Himself incarnated and lived the teachings of the Vedas. Supreme Lord Himself incarnated and lived in accordance with the teachings of the Vedas, within the parameters of the Vedas, without changing any aspect of the Vedas to suit any circumstances that the Supreme Lord in that incarnation underwent. He abided by all the laws, the rules, the regulations of the cosmic law, which is manifested from Himself eternally. So the Itihasas are very, very important, not just an ordinary history, but it is transcendental history because the main actor both in the Ramayana and the Mahabharata is the Supreme Lord Himself. Yes or no? So it is important, it is potent, it must be read with reverence, it must be followed to the T, because this is exactly like law. In law we have decided cases, and when we look at the Upanishads, when we look at the Bhagavad Gita, when we look at the Brahma Sutra, we can use the Ramayana and we can use the Mahabharata to reference decided cases where the Supreme Lord Himself was the principal actor. Supreme Lord Himself was the principal actor, and if you combine these two, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, and all the characters within, and if you follow all the characters that were righteous, then your life will be a walk in the park. And this is why the Supreme Lord incarnates timelessly to guide you from the outside. He's also guiding you from inside, but through your own GPS. And then He tries to guide you from the outside when He comes in these avatar forms to teach you how to live a righteous life. And then when Lord Ramanuj came into existence 1,000 years ago, and I'm repeating this because this needs to sink home, the situation was exactly as it is today. Sanatana Dharma was lost. Is Sanatana Dharma lost today? Is it lost?
Yes.
is that false philosophy of ISKCON covering Sanatana Dharma like a dark cloud.
Yes.
Are people around the world believing ISKCON to be promoters of Sanatana Dharma?
Yes.
Are people around the world believing that the summary of Sanatana Dharma, which is the Bhagavad Gita, are people around the world believing that the authentic summary of the Bhagavad Gita is by ISKCON only? Is the world believing that Swami Prabhupada is the only guru in the world to have written the Bhagavad Gita in its original form? And is that the truth? So as long as there's 23 million copies of the Bhagavad Gita that was sold by ISKCON, 23 million copies in 56 languages. As long as ISKCON's Bhagavad Gita exists, can Sanatana Dharma be revealed? As long as any literature of ISKCON exists, can the dark clouds of Sanatana Dharma disappear? They are the biggest propagators supposedly of Sanatana. In every home around the world, I saw now they're going to be teaching the Bhagavad Gita in India, in schools in India, and I saw Narendra Modi with the cover of Bhagavad Gita as it is. If children learn Swami Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, are they going into Sanatana Dharma or are they going out of Sanatana Dharma? So you understand that as Lord Ramanuj had a mountain to climb, here at the Sri Narayan Dham we also have a mountain to climb. But we are assisted by Sanatana Dharma itself. We are assisted by Sanatana Dharma itself. And at this point, I just want to refresh the philosophy of Sanatana Dharma. Karma, Dharma, reincarnation, liberation. And I've had the opportunity of witnessing karma. That personality who said Amakula on Saturday, on Sunday, his homestead got burnt. Saturday, we discussed him. Sunday, his homestead got burnt. Vasan, you ever saw karma working in that speed? Yeah, it's called instant karma. Very, very fast. Within 48 hours, man got no clothes. Okay, but he's always wearing skin band over. So that's fine for him. That is the power of Sanatana Dharma itself. No one can escape karma. No one can escape karma. So, Lord Ramanuj, when he escaped his first teacher, who wanted to have him killed, murdered, he went to a place called Kanchipuram. And I was fortunate in 2018 when I went to India with the intention of fasting or going on a hunger strike at Guruji's ashram because of his son's atrocities. That was my intention when I left South Africa, to go outside the gates of the Sri Siddhartha ashram. And I had a 3-week visa, and I was supposed to sit outside and go on hunger strike. That was my intention in 2018. And then when we landed in Delhi, I got a call from Siddhartha ashram itself. I got a message that Swamiji's men are looking for me in Delhi. And now, as I was contemplating, because I made a public statement that I'm going to India, I'm going to sit outside the gate, and I'm going to go on a hunger strike. It was public knowledge, and Swamiji's henchmen were looking for me in Delhi. And a few minutes after that message, I got a message from America that I must proceed immediately to Hyderabad, and Swami Chinnajaya is at the ashram, and they booked me a 6-day stay at the ashram so I could consult with Swami Chinnajaya the atrocities that was happening at Sri Siddhartha ashram. So I had no intention of going south, but look, within 5 minutes, 2 messages, and when you spiritual, you take nothing as a coincidence. It means that was the instruction by Lord Sri Ramanuj and the Sampradaya. So I went to Chinnajaya Swami's ashram. I stayed there for 6 days. I stayed there for 6 morning aartis, and Lord Ram and Mother Sita are the main deities at this ashram, and I felt the power of Lord Ram melting my bones. And when I explained this to Chinnajaya Swami, he said I was very, very fortunate to have that experience. And on the last day, he cut his morning service off completely. He summoned one of his disciples and he gave us an itinerary on tracing Lord Ramanuj's footsteps. And it was in this 2018 that I actually went to Kanchipuram. And I'm going to discuss this place, very, very important in Lord Ramanuj's life 1,000 years ago. Remember this, although Lord Ramanuj lived 1,000 years ago, these temples are 3,000-4,000 years old. These temples are 3,000-4,000 years old. And I had the opportunity to feel and absorb the potencies of Lord Ramanuj, and I think the entire lineage in all these places that I went. Every place that I went, I soaked in the absolute truth of my sampradaya, not knowing one day I'll have to sit here and refute false philosophies. I was there and I took it with embraced arms. Like when I went to military training, I knew never in my life, even if I had the most amount of money, nobody could train me as I was trained in the military. Because in the military you can't say no. If they say 100, you must say yes, Sergeant, and give them 100 press-ups or 100 sit-ups. If you got your own money, no matter how rich you are, nobody can compel you to do 100 sit-ups. So when I was in the military, I really did 100 sit-ups. I did everything because I embraced the opportunities with both hands. And similarly, when I was in Kanchipuram, when I went to all the ashrams, I embraced it with both hands. I soaked in the divinity, assimilating spiritual potency shocks this material body. It is not a feeling or a refreshed feeling. Everything goes haywire because it's electricity charging up inside the body. You can get lightheaded, a whole lot of electrical impulses takes place in the body. And when I went to Kanchipuram, and I remember this, reading about this Lord Ramanuj history at Kanchipuram, I actually felt myself going back 1,000 years. I felt myself in that reality of Lord Sri Ramanuj. I felt that ancient consciousness, and it was a very, very deep and pure feeling which words cannot, or words in English cannot describe, and this is the only language I know. So at Kanchipuram, there was a devotee. I just want to spell. So the deity Lord Sriman Narayan at Kanchipuram is called Vara, Vara Daraja. Vara Daraja. Vara Daraja. And Kanchipurna was a non-Brahmin who was very devoted to the Lord with this name. So much so that he could have a conversation with the Lord. And this is not a myth. I explained at the very beginning that there are four types of knowledge through communication. Transcendental knowledge, transcendental communication. Next one, intuition. Next one, mental conversation. Last one, word and written. So Kanchipurna used to have intuitional conversations with Lord Sriman Narayan. It is not a myth. This is Sanatana Dharma. This is how pure people can download from the Supreme Lord Himself, either download or converse. It's a dimension of knowledge through communication. And these are four types of communication. You don't have to go there and yap, Jessica. You can connect with 3 other levels. And Satish Bhai will be so happy if you don't use the 4th level at all. For the rest of his life, just use your 3 levels, yes? I don't think anybody will be happier than satisfied. Maybe his prayer in this month of the Ramanujan will be use the first 3 levels. Satisfied? Or maybe when we go to South India, all of us, when we go to this temple, you can ask the Lord. Alright? And you'll see whether it works, because as soon as we leave, Jessica will stop talking. Alright, so this Kanchi Purna was a non-Brahmin. And 1,000 years ago, Brahmin and non-Brahmin was a huge thing in India. And Lord Sri Ramanuj was the first personality to dismantle the caste system. So he took his first lessons in Sanatana Dharma from a non-Brahmin. We need to understand this. Today it means nothing to us, but in 1,000 years ago, it was a huge thing. This Kanchi Purna was abused by Lord Ramanuj's wife twice. And this was one of the reasons he finally left his wife. So, Kanchi Purna refused to initiate Lord Ramanuj, but he agreed to teach him whatever he needed to know in Sanatana. So the very first teacher, the basics, Kanchi Purna, from the Kanchipuram temple, taught Lord Ramanuj. So Lord Ramanuj had 6 questions. He knew that Kanchi Purna used to have these intuitive discussions with Lord Sriman Narayan. And he said, please go and ask these 6 questions. And Lord Narayan, being Lord Narayan, you think he needed these questions to be asked, or you think he just gave Kanchi Purna the answer? Gave him the answer. And these 6 questions are: who is the Supreme? What is the philosophical truth of this way? What is the way to reach the goal? What is the state when the soul leaves the body? Must one remember the Lord when taking the final breath? Whom should one approach to get salvation? And when Kanchi Purna went in front of the Lord with these questions in his mind, the Lord answered spontaneously. And he said, and I'm quoting, our Ramanuja is very intelligent, full stop. By nature, he is a servitor pure, full stop. He also knows my views and the philosophy behind this creation, full stop. He is like Krishna, who learned all the Vidyas speedily from sage Sandipani and learns all the Shastras from different teachers, full stop. He is following my command to save all human beings, full stop. I will now give the answers to the questions that rock his mind. I am the Supreme. Who is saying this? Lord Sriman Narayan is saying, I am the Supreme. The religion is of twin truth. Surrender is the way. Following them one gets salvation. there is no need to remember the Lord when the soul leaves the body. Also, our Ramanuja should approach Mahapurna. So the 6 answers are here. I'll give it in more detail tomorrow to the 6 questions. What are you noticing about Lord Ramanuj? Is there formality? Is there a structure? Is there a logical reason? Or is he willy-nilly approaching Sanatana Dharma? How is he approaching Sanatana Dharma? Through a structured formality that is prescribed in the Vedas. Like myself, I was an atheist for so many years because I didn't know who the Supreme was. So the first thing you need to know is what is the name of the Supreme. First thing you need to know, what is the name of the Supreme. That's the first thing. And I heard the name of the Supreme in 2008. At a very, very advanced age. And Yajvan learned the name of the Supreme at the age of 3. Who is more intelligent? Who is more intelligent? Yajvan at 3 years old, he knew Narayan. I never heard of that name Narayan until 2008. Jessica, if I'm 63 in 2026, what was my age in 2008? Minus 24. 50? No, I became a guru when I was 51, 2013. 43, 45, 45. Yajvan, can you imagine your guru, 45-year-old Bhadda, then only he learns who Lord Narayan is. And you at 3 years old, you knew Lord Narayan. And there's a very interesting story. So when we went for the first session at Guruji's satsang, on Thursday I asked him for a car, on Monday I got a brand new car and a gold car. Thursday asked, Monday got. Then this car had a CD player. 2008 CD players were the in technology. And I requested from my father-in-law a CD. So he went in his cupboard and he pulled out about 100 CDs and he carried on flipping the CDs, flipping. He pulled out one and he gave me that one CD. And I went in the car, I put the CD on, and when he played the 4th song, I told Mataji, hey, this Westville Ashram is playing the same song. And that point in time, Sri Siddhartha Ashram was not known in Durban. how my father-in-law got the CD, only God knows. You understand? And that is what Jessica sings. And that's why she had to have a op so she could sing it nicely. Sriman Narayana, Narayana. Yeah, alright. That's what you sing, the Narayan Dun. It was number 4 on this CD. And when I put that CD, it came there, I remember, I don't know if Mataji remembers, we were on the Esplanade and this number 4 came on. My offices was in Smith Street. So we came down the Esplanade, the law offices were in Smith Street. We came down the Esplanade and I kept this Narayan Dun on repeat. And I told her there's so many gods. Ram, Krishna, Ganesha, Hanuman. Who's this Narayan? She said, I don't know. By now we were coming down Sydenham Hill. Oh God. She said, I don't. I said this story before. And then we landed, this building now is called Premier. It had another name before. Sean, what was the name? Woodlands. And as I said, that was not our supermarket. But for some reason, Mataji said, go to Food Line. We went there, and generally I don't jump and go one round with her. I sit in the car, she does the shopping. On this particular day, I went in, I did the round with her, and as we were coming out, and as I told you, if there is any literature to read, I gobble it up. So there was a community newspaper on the counter, couple hundred like this. And I think there was Satyagraha or some, they were the community newspaper at that point in time, 2008. And I took that newspaper and I went in a car and I opened to the second page and there's that photo of Lord Sriman Narayan. And I told her, see, this is what Lord Narayan looks like. So that was my own personal experience with Lord Narayan. That Narayan Dun. And all this happened in the first week. In the Thursday I saw Guruji myself with my own 2 eyes at that satsang. Although he was late 1 year. And then the Narayan Dun, it stuck to me because naturally if you hear it once, because of the repetition, Sriman Narayana, 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 it will stick to you. So I picked it up there and then I saw him on the big poster like this, had a physical view of Lord Sriman Narayan. And here I'm sitting today. 2018, I was the first guru in the world to do the Om Namo Narayan mantra in 2017, in fact, live around the world. And in 2018, I was the first guru in the world to start the Lord Narayan, what we call awareness worldwide. Lord Narayan awareness worldwide. If you go onto our old post, you'll see I was the first guru in the world to do the Lord Narayan awareness. We did it on the 6th and 7th of January, 24 hours Lord Narayan awareness. So I'm coming a long way with Lord Sriman Narayan. As you can see, Lord Ramanuj had a contact in the Kanchipuram temple to go and talk directly to the Lord. I'm here In Africa, no excess. No excess. But the Lord presented himself. The Lord, as soon as I desired, he presented himself. Not 1 hour I asked Mataji, hey, who's this Lord Narayan now? How many gods have we got? Within an hour it was answered. This is the power of a bona fide spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the power and the relationship. And I want all of you to have what I got. This is why I left that millions. Can you understand? This is why I left those millions. When I came back in 2014, in 2013, when we were still in India, we were sitting in the dining hall. Some people, I don't know what they saw, but they came and bowed down at my table. I don't know if Mataji and Sean remembers. And then we were sitting with a businesswoman from South Africa. And she was complaining that her husband has an excavator and no use. And I gave her my number. I told her we are in that business. And we contact me. In 2014, she contacted me. I hired the machine and I opened a mining business in Amlazi. And we had a 65-year-old operator. That is old man. And he must have his nip of gas. In the morning, and there's a routine. We dig along the riverbank, the excavator runs up and down, and then trucks come onto the track on the excavator. And then we take the rocks and we put it in the tracks where the trucks can get stuck. So when the truck leaves, we pick up rocks and we throw it where the trucks can get stuck. And this operator was sweeping the track like this. And I had a long stockpile, high as this building and as long as this building along the river. And as he was sweeping the stockpile, he didn't see me. The bucket hit my head. And I landed up the stockpile. When I closed my eyes, I had a vision of my head being bust like a coconut. I saw all the white inside. I saw the white, everything inside smashed to smithereens. And Nirali's cousin witnessed this. He was a trucker. There were about 6 truckers that were parked there, and Nirali's cousin, he confirmed this in one of our Phoenix satsangs. He was there, and he saw the excavator hit my head. He saw me flying 3 or 4 meters in the air. Trisha is very happy. Guru caught it. I caught it in advance, Trisha, so I can tease you for the rest of your life. But we are equal. See what I got. One doom from the excavator bucket. When I opened my eyes, I was frightened to touch my head because I saw it burst in my vision. But when I touched, I see nothing. I touched round and round and round, absolutely nothing. Then I looked for a drop of blood, absolutely nothing. But that was a sound and a half. It was an inner sound, not an external sound, an inner sound that I heard. And then I came down and all the drivers were happy. I'm still alive, so they can get the load. And it was a Thursday. And we were so consistent. 2014, I just started in 2013, 10th of October 2014, we were doing 4 satsangs. And this Thursday satsang was, what's the name of the place, Adit, where they used to have funerals? Andhra Vishnu Hall. Okay, we couldn't get a hall for Thursdays, so we got the Andhra Vishnu Hall. And if they had a funeral on that day, we had to wait, and then Mataji and I should host that whole hall, and then set up, host a hall, wash the windows. We used to go there at 4, and then set the entire hall for satsang at 7. It wasn't easy. That Nirali's hall, what was the name of that hall? Northcroft Hall, yeah. There the toilets were in a state. Mataji and I put our hands in every toilet pan with chemicals and washed it and brought it to state. The stage in the front was in a pathetic condition. How many murtis there? About 40. We washed every murti, we removed everything, we cleaned, we spring cleaned, and we brought it into. So I'm sitting here today like a king, full of gratitude. When you see things happening at this ashram, it's happening because I have gratitude. Because to promote Lord Sriman Narayan, to promote the Sri Sampradaya, to promote Guruji, we went through hell. And drunk and drugged caretakers should shun us out of the hall. As soon as we finish discourse, must rush and eat and run for your life. Otherwise they come into the hall, put the lights off and say, get. This is the abuse we went. Person, you was there at that time. This is the abuse we went before we got this ashram. This ashram just didn't land here. And like Lord Ramanuj, I was also involved in a structured way. We used to do 4 satsangs in a week. How many satsangs a year? 200. 200 satsangs in 1 year in 4 places in Durban. From Monroe Drive. On our way, we should manage to do the satsang. As soon as we came back and took that bend, that VW used to break. They had a driveway like this. Mataji would run up. She used to wear sari that time. Then come down again. We must take all the music equipment up, take the food pots up. And I always had 10 banners of Guruji. I wanted people to really see Guruji. But when the van broke down on the road, carrying each banner up, sometimes we should only finish offloading at 1. Sorry? Yeah, 1. But it didn't deter us. Next day we went for the next one. So we entrenched ourselves in deep austerities and penances. Mataji, long before Ramaphosa found a couch, Mataji found a wardrobe. I hope they don't come and arrest her now.
Alright? And Mataji should tie 1,000 rands with a sewing cotton. So she'll tie the 1,000 rand this way and the 1,000 rand the other way. And our wardrobe was full of thousands. Our boys didn't know. 2 boys didn't know. And we did our business. Mataji was the secretary. I was the managing director. No computers. Not one account was off. Every day she sorted the account. And 50% of our customers were on account. Every day I gave her the sheet. Manually she'll sort. That was her job. And my job was the operation. Our wardrobe was. I think Ramaphosa should have came and checked with Mataji how to use cotton. Because I saw him on TikTok trying to buy a sofa or something. 8 o'clock, I don't know whether he resigned. Today 8 o'clock. I think the best thing, the most balanced thing for this country would be his resignation. And there'll be no country in the world with a juicier political consciousness than South Africa. As soon if he resigns, 1,000 dynamics. 1,000 dynamics. Coming back, you as devotees are very privileged to be in this system. There is no system in the world that can compare to the Sri Sampradaya. And this is an absolute truth. No system in the world can compare to the Sri Sampradaya. And the Sri Sampradaya is your gateway to liberation. Don't misuse this body, because only the human body can get you liberated. But if you're a cat or a dog, Guru can come and liberate you. No, I need you to come this way. You saw how hard Lord Ramanuj worked. You saw how hard your Guru worked. And if you want to get liberated, then you have to work as hard. And those of you that's sacrificing your time, you coming through, you are at the peak of your humanity. You are at your peak of your humanity. If anyone needs to get a certificate from Lord Narayan directly, it will be you in this 22 days. It will be you in this 22 days. So I want to thank all of you all, because this whole system is disciple-based. The whole Vedas is disciple-based. The Upanishads is a personification of the disciplic succession. Throughout the Upanishads, there's a guru giving a disciple instruction. That's how the Upanishads are constructed. So the disciple is very, very important. It is very important to be a disciple. And then lastly, tomorrow an attorney will be at 12 o'clock, was? 12? Yeah, so I will be doing my last will and testament. Guruji did not do that And look at what happened in the ashram. Two brothers fighting for money in Sri Siddhartha ashram because Guruji did not make a will. So I'm taking a lesson from there. And I want you, all of you, to be involved in this will. Send me pointers that I can give the attorney. Send me pointers so the attorney, and then I'll make, once the will is drawn and authorized and stamped, then we'll make it known publicly. Alright? So this ashram is going to be yours. Guru will be gone. That's one. You must also help to draw up the will. Alright? I'll give your father some ideas. Your father don't read, he just sings. You make sure he reads. Alright? Are there any questions? Please don't say put you in the will. I want general ideas. Gerald was just saying, hey, you send me a personal message. When you changing the pens, leave the pens to me. Alright? Gerald? Yeah, alright. Nothing, don't ask for any personal things. Alright? We want to know how this ashram can continue in the absence of myself. Alright? And whilst this is being recorded, it is my wish, as soon as we extend the ashram, to get a Pancharatra Agama priest that will do all the rituals that Lord Sri Ramanuj instructed. I'm bypassing the rituals because I'm not qualified to do rituals. So if the Pancharatra Agama priest will speak to Gautam Acharya, Jessica, you got his details?
Yes, good.
Yeah, start talking to him. Right now it's not possible. We're going to need proper accommodation and we need to do proper work. They have to get work permit to come and live here, maybe 2-year contract, 3-year contract. We'll wait for the new building to go up, which could be by next year. Jai Shri Ramanuj.